And he starts talking about how he wipes back to front. And I was like, you know what? This is probably not going to work.
Yeah, because I reminded her of Will Smith. This thing is not a dog. This thing is a dinosaur.
My name is Curry and Kool-Aid. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Curry and Kool-Aid. My name is Newer Jay. I'm joined with the one and only Brandon Drake Nelson. One of us is Curry, one of us is Kool-Aid. If you want to figure that one out, just head on over to the YouTube channel, and that should give you an idea of who's who. But if not, you might be at the wrong podcast. Mr. Nelson, how you doing today, sir?
If I knew how to say your last name, I'd call you Mr. Whatever that is, but I'm doing snaptastic.
Mr. J's fine.
Mr. J. Ooh, I like it. Well, if you would have followed the career path of your people, you'd be Dr. J.
I can't. I wish I could argue that, but I can't.
But no, to answer your question, man, I'm doing good. We survived the 4th of July, which down here can be very volatile. So
let's just start off with that. You have moved back to the beautiful town of Jacksonville, Arkansas. You're moving
Absolutely.
from big city life. Tell me what it's like. What are you enjoying? What are you not enjoying? What do you miss? What is the transition like right now?
Like I said, every day is a new day. You would think it'd be like that in Vegas. For the first couple months there, it was basically that. But being back, it's like the readjustment is just it's my fault for having expectations for the people I grew up with to have higher expectations. So it's just not judging anybody or just letting people be them. But yeah, last night was fun. I mean, there were more gunshot than fireworks, if that lets you know how we get it in down here. And
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I did participate.
Wow. So you were one of those dudes just shooting a shotgun in the air, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
I mean, technically, it is considered a Texas firework. Just remember, that bullet does have to land somewhere.
No,
So...
it was birdshot. It was birdshot. I made sure.
Oh. Well,
I'm
in
cool.
that case, so I'm just picturing you just load them and just shoot them into the air, and do you like maybe yell like a battle cry or?
No, here's the thing, because my gun is sexy, but when I shoot it, that thing will let off. It'll. If you're around me, you'll feel it. But it's not me letting off the battle cry. It's my people. As soon as I shoot it, everybody runs around and runs away, and they're like, "Oh!" I'm like, okay, I know where I'm at now. You know how we do. Like we tell a good joke, and everybody just runs. It's like, why are you running? Okay, all right, yeah.
What do you mean by how we do? I was just
don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. So moving on. Let's talk about what's going on nowadays. Going on between today's world as well as our own personal world. We'll start out with this news story that we recently heard. I think it was it's come from multiple different news sources, and I'm trying to get the clarity of it. But basically, long story short, the Florida Gators baseball coach basically hooked up with one of the Bat Boys' moms. And long story short, he apparently had an affair with her, and the husband ends up finding out, ends up killing the kids, and then killing himself. Didn't do anything to the woman that cheated. And then later on down the road, she is now married to the Florida baseball coach that she allegedly had an affair with. I don't know the timeline of this affair, right? Some people are saying that the affair might have been after the death. But let's take it for, if these are the real
These are the
details
facts?
yeah.
Man, listen. If this ain't the most Florida shit that I've ever heard in my life, dude.
I mean,
I can't even because I'm going through my little situation or whatever right now. Man, I'm more of an ignorance is bliss kind of guy. Like I just don't. But I'm not going off me for something that somebody else did. But this dude was married and had kids. Finds out that the coach is banging his wife. He kills the kids and kills himself. Leaves the wife to be. And then she goes and marries the guy that I can't. You know what? I don't even know what to say about that.
I don't like. I mean, as the coach, like, how do you like? Do you just look past it? You're like, oh no, that's your like. You look at like someone's dating history. You're like, no, that's your past. Like, do you just say, hey, that's your past? Like that, I have nothing to do with that.
Well, it
It's
makes sense
just.
as a coach. It makes sense as a coach because coaches always, hey, it's next play. Don't live in the past. It's next play.
I mean, if you're looking forward, looking to the future, good for you. But I mean, I don't care how good that cookie is. It is not nearly double, triple homicide good. It is,
No.
nope. And I don't know, like after that type of incident, I think I would have to end it. But this guy was like, you know what? We can get through this together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but even both of them, they're meant for each other because if they are that toxic to where he'll even still take her on as he was having an affair with her, knowing that her husband killed their kids that they made together and then kill himself because he was so heartbroken. And he's like, oh, that's the one for me. What?
It's a wild story, dude. It's a wild story. God, I mean, it gets thinking. It gets you thinking, but hey, if
We
they're
led off
happy,
with something real crazy.
well, I mean, literally, you and I mean, we weren't going to, but then we started talking about it, and we're like, yeah, this is a wild story. But hey, if they're happy and they're making it work, good for them, man. Good for them.
Man. Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's talk about what happened to me. So I think I
Oh
need
Lord.
to I think I need to get like a haircut or something.
Oh wait.
Um
Speaking on that, I want to point out a minor detail.
mhm.
We both have on snapbacks, right?
Mhm.
I'm at like what? Two of these joints? You're
Oh,
like four?
I'm no, I'm at 3. I'm at 3.
Yeah, but it's just because of your hair. It's just because I have a big ass head. But go ahead. With their hey, don't be promoting Bucky's. They ain't paying us.
But
I mean,
if
the
they
Cowboys aren't
did,
either. The Cowboys aren't either.
my,
But if
this
they,
is a refreshing beverage in this beautiful tumbler only found at Bucky's.
my man.
Um no, so I had some funny things happen to me, and I haven't been racially profiled in some time lately. But hey, I needed a good refresher course. So I was actually in downtown Vegas. I had a buddy of mine. He reached out, said he needs some marketing work done, photo, video stuff, and some drone work. And
Mm.
so I was outside of the D Hotel downtown, and I was doing
Pause.
some drone. That's what it's called. It's what it's called. I thought about it too when they named it, but yeah, it's just called the D. So take that
Again.
however you want it.
Yeah, yeah. That's hey
Um,
yo.
yeah, but so I basically go outside. I'm droning, and I swear, Brandon, probably like 45 black people walked by me. They saw the drone. They looked at me. Some people said, "What's up?" Said, "What's up?" back. White lady walked by, just stared at me for like 5 minutes. I was like, kind of trying to, have like openly friendly behavior, and then she just walks away. Walk into the casino, and she called Metro, and she said there's a suspicious man outside with a drone.
You know where I'm going with this, if because you just told me this right
Well,
now.
so the way that works is Metro will dispatch security first.
Mm-hmm.
So security came. They're like, "Hey, Metro just gave us a call," because Metro's usually around the corner anyway. But they want to make sure it's something serious before they come over. And so this lady describes it to me, and she said she described you and said there's a suspicious man out front with the drone. And my immediate response was, "Well, yeah, because I look like a terrorist." And she immediately like kind of chuckled and like immediately like backed away. kind of like what you're doing right now. Uh, I found it funny, but it's a reality of where we live. But yeah, so that was cool, man. That was really cool. That happened,
Well,
and
luckily
then
you have the personality that you have because that could have gone left.
well, I mean, dude, like I tell people all the time, if you're in these scenarios, if you find yourself in these situations, plain and simple, you have two ways. You can try to fight it and combat it and make a big scene out of it, and it might not work out in your favor, and it usually won't work out in your favor. Or you can just be like, look, I get what someone who might be uneducated, might be ignorant, they might have malice in their heart, who knows, right? But fact of the matter is, like, if you're just approaching it like, hey, I get it, haha, whatever, you're gonna 99% of the time be just fine. I find it's when you're raising hell, and trust me, I got people in my family that they'll raise hell, for the minute something like this occurs.
Yeah, I got one right in the living room.
Nice. Where I'm just like, look, if it happens, it happens. Appreciate it. I'm gonna move on. Like I'm focused on my life, my world, right? Like all this around me that people get so concerned about. You know what? This is well. We'll talk about this segue later, but we got to talk about when I went to Target, dude. I had a wild week. I had a real wild week, man. Okay,
well, let your boy know.
So that happens, and you know what? They're cool. Whatever. It was funny. Haha. I go to Target the very next day, and I'm in the Target that's not in a nice area. And
Maryland?
No, Rainbow, Spring Mountain.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then get this. Okay. So, no, by the way, it's not like a terrible area. No, by no means. But it's just not
bad. But
it's not nice. It's just not nice. So I pull in, and there's two massive groups of people protesting Target. The people that are like anti-LGBTQ, and then the other half was like dressed out, looking fly, had their disco gear on, had the speaker out, and they were just dancing, having a good gay time. And I was like, man, what are you guys doing? Like,
not a good gay time.
Like, come on. So they were having a good ass time. I was about to join them, but I'll talk about that in a second.
They have the most fun.
I go into Target, and I'm walking down the grocery like area, and a lady kind of looks up at me, and she's probably in her late 50s, and she just says hello, and friendly hello, why not? I'm friendly hello back. So she said hello, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And then I walk by the way, do you ever say like how's it going as the phrase? Like it's not a question, that's your hello. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? And you don't trust me. I feel like you do it more than you know. You see someone, you're like, what's up, man? And they're like, oh, how's it going? And then you just walk by, and no one actually answers the question. Anyway,
you've been around.
So,
okay, never mind.
Anyway, so I'm like, how's it going? And I walk by her, and then she just goes, excuse me. She's like, I just wanted you to know, when I first saw you, I just thought, you kind of had this menacing presence, and then you spoke, and you seem like a really great guy. And I'm like, what kind of backhanded bullshit was that? What do you that? And I'm just like, man, I'm just like, I need a haircut.
You know how many times I've gotten that? Like, oh, you speak really well for a black guy.
My favorite one was when I was a waiter at a Mexican restaurant in San Antonio.
Wait.
Dude, we're here.
Wait. I was not expecting that.
Why is me working at a Mexican restaurant so strange?
I was imagining you working. Dude, you are. Okay. I know where you're from, and I know down in it was Austin, right? And I know there's a whole bunch of Mexicans down there.
No, this was in San Antonio.
San Antonio, even worse. What the?
Anyways,
oh shit!
Why is that so funny? Why do you find that hilarious?
Let me drink my Pedialyte. Hold on.
Why do you find that hilarious?
Because for one, I wasn't expecting it, and for two, I know you. I've lived with you, and then you're like, I was working at this Mexican restaurant. You so passively just walk by it like that's not a thing. You,
Bro,
I know your,
tell you.
I know your fucking attitude. I know your. I got one F out the way, and I know how. Okay, go ahead. I just think it's hilarious. I wish I would have had a camera on you.
I am a
Golly.
customer service professional. I am a customer service professional. People love
You
me.
worked at why'd you never let me know that?
Bro, when I was literally thinking about this the other day, and I'll probably just list it on this piece of paper behind me, I've had over 30 jobs. I have done damn near every job in the world. But I was working at the Mexican restaurant, and this old lady came in. She was probably in her late 80s, and clearly everybody there thought I was Mexican. And so she walks up, and it was...
What?
Oh,
People really thought you were Mexican?
Well, I mean, I was kind of clean shaven back then. I was only 18, and everybody at the restaurant was Mexican except me. So, by kind of more of a guilty by association type deal. So basically, this lady is she basically I welcome her in, and I'm like, welcome to Tomatillos. I'm like, we have these special on order, this, that. It was called Tomatillos, was a restaurant. Anyway.
What was the name?
Tomatillos. Okay. I hate you. My shit is all messed up over here. I don't even know it's recording. Anyway. So.
Oh my God.
I didn't even get to the punchline yet. You've literally ruined this entire bit. You are the worst.
No, I'm sorry. You really caught me off guard, dude. I'm just imagining you because I work in...
That's what makes you so laughable.
No, because okay, go.
Anyway,
just go.
So she was just basically like, I welcome her to the restaurant, and then she looked at me and she was like, "Oh my gosh," she goes, "Your English is so good," and I was like, "Thank you so much." And then she asked me for aqua. And so I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, all right, so moving on.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. Edit what you need, but I did not. Dude, I cannot imagine you, because I was like, restaurants are my bread and butter, but then like, when you were like, I mean, you could work at any place, but when you say, well, just so casually, yeah, I used to work at this Mexican restaurant in San Antonio, and I'm like, the most Mexican place outside of Mexico, like
basically, yeah. I mean, bro, I'm jack of all trades over here. Jack of all trades, no big deal. So all that happened. So yeah, I'm basically like, yeah, I need to get a haircut. But let's talk about what was going on in front of Target. I do not understand why these people are picketing against Target. I get Target has this giant pride display, right? But like, these people act like people are going into their homes and putting a gun to their head and forcing them to shop at Target. No one is forcing you to do anything. Like, no one is forcing you to watch the shows, to read the propaganda, the meeting. No one. So why do you feel so strongly that you have to make your stupid signs from Hobby Lobby and go hang out on the curb with your 6 bigot friends? I don't get this. I don't get this.
Hobby Lobby, that's a throwback right there. Is Hobby Lobby still open?
I think it's still around.
Oh, okay. Well, if I can, give some insight on that, which I don't have any. So this is gonna just be from the peanut gallery, but people just, now that they have access to do what we do, well, maybe not in the fashion that we do, but they can just pick up their phone and be like, "This is what I think," or just get out there in front of somebody. It's all clickbait to me, and it's like, if you put that energy towards something that really means something, we might get a little bit more accomplished. But that's a whole other rabbit hole for another episode.
But I'm talking about, like, these people are literally getting outside. Oh, who's that? What's up? Say what's up.
Yeah,
come on.
Come here.
No. Now you gotta say hi.
My sister is here.
No. I know whoever it is. Come in. Say hello. Say hello. Just say hi.
She can't hear you.
All right. Well, you can translate for me. Say hello.
Yeah, my sister saying what's up. This is Nor. You know.
Hi, Nor.
Seen Nor.
How you
Yeah.
doing? It's good to see you.
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Oh, another beautiful day with this special
I can't
human.
hear you, but okay.
He said it's another beautiful day with this special human.
Does that mean
He's
you or his child?
he's talking about me
His
because
woman?
he's talking, yeah. Well, yeah.
You gotta specify.
Yeah,
It's,
he's,
twen-
and
it's
he-
2023. You gotta specify.
Yeah.
he's talking that talk. He's fine. He's good.
Anyway,
That's my boy.
it was good to see you.
Okay, I'm gonna go make cookies.
All right, he said good to see you.
Good to see you.
She was asking me if I wanted cookies
What kind of
because she's
cookies?
making cookies. What kind
What
of
kind of
cookies?
cookies? What kind of cookies?
Chocolate chip cookies? Chocolate chip cookies. Scratch.
Not,
Ah.
not the parentheses.
Anyway, yeah. She's out.
Will you?
All right.
I mean, can you send some? Can you send some over? Can you send some?
But no,
Can
she know what she doing.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And you were gonna shed some light from the peanut gallery. Yeah, I just don't understand. You know, these people act like it's being shoved down their throats. It's not being shoved down your throat. It's not being, it's not in your face like they say it is. And then they feel the need to go outside to the street and like chant at cars that are driving past you 55 miles an hour. You think we're gonna hear what nonsense you have to say?
My thing is like, how invested in Target are you that you're like, Target is the foundation of my existence to where they just broke me to where I have to be out in the front because I thought it was one thing and it's now another thing and I just can't deal with it anymore. I do not understand that standpoint. I don't get it.
These people are so frail. You're so frail. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
live your life. That's it. Live your life. No one is doing all these things you say. Just live your life. It's so
You know what we
simple. And
have?
whoever wants,
You know what we have? We have first world problems.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Picketing outside of a Target, that is definitely a first world problem. Now that basically wraps up my week of mental health. How was your week, Brandon?
My week actually was pretty good. Just been acclimating my son to how we do it here in the South. He's a Bay Area boy, born and raised, so he's still getting used to how we do it down here, and he's liking it. I'll tell you what, the biggest thing about it is the food. He is put some greens in front of him.
So,
'Cause,
where exactly did he like grow up, and then where is he now, and where's he gonna be?
Okay, so he grew up in Oakland, Stockton area, a little bit back and forth, but
West Coast.
West Coast. He's a Cali boy. So he's used to what he's used to, but what we got going on down here, he really does like. He is used to always being the focal point, though. The one thing that I have been, having to work with him on is the fact that don't nobody care. When you step outside of these doors, nobody cares, especially down here. And not in a bad way, but in a way of that you need to know things, because I can't be by your side 24 hours a day. If something goes wrong, somebody's going to grab him by the back of the shirt and pick him up. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. But it's like, if I can't do that, if I'm not there to be that, I want to be confident enough in you that where you got it. Hey there. The reason you're seeing this is because Noor said some shit that we cannot air. I want you to continue watching the podcast, so let's get back to it.
Oh, and then one more thing is that my sister set me up with a shaman, and she was like,
yeah,
hey,
you did mention that earlier today when we spoke. What's up with that?
So she was like, I speak to beings, and you basically ask me questions, and I try to, I speak to these beings, and I communicate. I was like, all right, and I was like, beans? I was like, what kind of beans? I was like, are they garbanzo beans, like kidney beans? Like, I'm thinking she rolls them like dice, and maybe like there's a picture there, and she's able to like translate it into something.
You talk about me going too far.
And because bro, I thought it was tarot cards.
Nope.
I don't know what it was. I didn't know. My sister signed me up for it. it was really interesting though. Like, very like the answers she had for all my questions were like super optimistic, and I was like, well, that helps. It also helps this lady's business. But it was interesting the things she said. So, she said some things about this upcoming month. Let's see if they come true, and we'll revisit this. August 1st. So we'll revisit the
Are
shaman
you gonna
talk August
say?
1st.
Are you gonna
I'll
say
say
what
it.
those things
Well, no,
were?
no. She
Well, I
said
understand
about
what
July.
you're saying, but I'm saying if you say it now, because it's already been said to you, so it's already out there in the universe. So if this shaman, this shaman on the phone, you didn't even say that part. It was on the phone, right?
Oh yeah, she doesn't. No, it's not local. The shamans have also gone to a work from home method. They're not. What is going
COVID's
on?
not
What's
a thing
behind you?
anymore. COVID, that whole thing, huh? I'm just trying to
Is there something
find
behind you?
the. There's nothing behind me. I'm just saying that you didn't give the people what they needed to know.
Well,
That you
no.
were on the phone with a shaman.
Oh yeah. No, I was on the phone. But She said things about July. So let's see if July happens, and then I
And we
will
can
tell
leave it
you
there.
if we've been debunked August 1st or not. Interesting stuff though. Interesting stuff. But
I'm excited for us.
long story short, basically she told me I'm old. And yeah, so that's that. What do you mean you're excited
Well,
for us? What do you mean you're excited
well,
for us?
apparently this shaman.
Wait, how do you know? How do you know this is? How do you know the shaman is about us? Maybe it's just about me. I didn't. The,
Wow.
the shaman never said anything about another bearded man in my thing. Although I didn't ask. I didn't ask because
You
this. I
wouldn't
don't.
because you're only concerned about
Hey,
yourself, and that hurts me to the core.
I don't need a
You
shaman for
wouldn't be
this. I
you
don't.
wouldn't be with that beautiful woman you're with right now. You wouldn't have that beautiful baby you have right now. You would not be the voice of Hyde right now had it not been for me. But you know what? I don't even want any credit. I'm just saying that the path is already set. But you cannot even recognize the fact that I have a very, very impactful part in this whole algorithm. And you gonna go and talk about a damn shaman on our podcast? That's what you think of me? That's why I'm looking
Maybe.
around. I'm trying to find the real Nora. I'm trying to like where my boy go. That's what I'm looking around for.
Maybe I had to ask the shaman questions I did not know the answer to. Maybe the questions I have about you and I already know the answers to. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think I was already so confident in us
You don't have
that
6 arms.
I didn't need to ask. I don't know if people are gonna get that one, but
Yeah,
you're
okay,
going
okay,
to hell.
okay, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
going
very.
straight to hell again. Every episode, you get a one-way ticket to hell, nonstop, first
Hey,
class,
man,
unlimited
smarter than
beverage.
I look.
Speaking of beverage service, what's in your glass?
No, actually, this is lemonade that we made earlier, but this is my pops
Like
got
out
me
of
this.
moonshine?
No, I've had moonshine in a while.
Oh,
Actually, I know I got, but no, my pops gave me this long time ago. But this you put ice in here last week, it'll still be ice. But yeah, it's just lemonade we made earlier because we just got done eating. I grilled yesterday, some leftover chicken, and yeah, just sipping on the lemonade. What about your Bucky's cup?
water. It's water.
Fire
Just
water?
agua.
Yeah. But yeah, no, speaking of my pops, man, it's super cool being back to the house because when he passed, he left the house to my sister and he left his truck to me. So when he did pass, it was just me, him, and my sister. We was holding his hands when he passed. I don't know if anybody's ever seen death before. Don't sign up for it. You think it's cool because in the movies and in the TV shows, it's like, oh, I was there with him when he died. That shit sucks. It is fucking terrible. Anyway, I'm
Do
not
you
gonna
want
get
to
too deep
like?
into.
Can you? I mean,
Yeah.
can you tell? If others obviously have gone through similar things, did you? I mean, did it affect you afterward? Did you have coping mechanisms? Like, if someone's listening and they've maybe gone through the same type of thing, what kind of has worked with you?
Well, what I'll say is I'm still dealing with it. He died September 18th, 2021. And
Okay.
the thing about it was, he said because he's just stubborn old man. He worked for the Attorney General's office. He was a cop. He was, a pillar in the streets. But I was his boy. And for those that don't know, he was the one that raised me. He and my mom were together when I was like 8 or 9, and they were like back and forth. But I was his son. And then even when
Mm.
they split up and she went on about doing her thing, he was like, "If you want to stay here, you can." And I was like, "You know what?" So in ninth grade, I was like, I'm gonna stay with Pops. So that's my guy. And then my sister came along, all that. Whole nother story. But anyway, long story short, he raised me to be as strong as I am because, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. A lot of people think that I am because like people that haven't met me in person, when they do meet me, they're like, "I thought you were bigger than that."
Just disappointed. Just
Yeah,
disappointed.
very disappointed until I take my never mind. But so then, see, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But no. So anyway, long story short, the reason I have the attitude that I have is because my pops is like 6'6", 300 pounds. If I'm not scared of him, I'm not scared of anybody. And he also, instilled in me, some certain values that I still hold to this day. But when he passed, you see, it's like his nickname on the block was Superman. Like my next door neighbor, Mr. Greg, to this day,
Mm.
he'd be like, "Hey man, I miss soup every day." Like he's like soup. I miss soup every
Mm.
day. And it's like it. They like that I'm back home, and it's just a. I love it and hate it at the same time because he was only 58 when he passed, so he was still
Mm.
a young man, but he took care of me. He got me where I needed to be. He let me, take take flight. And what I mean by take flight is like jump off the cliff. Don't be scared to do something. Don't be scared to, take those chances. Because without that, I wouldn't be talking to you. You know what I mean? So things like that, I still think about. And then with the structure that he had, it's just being back here is like super cool, and everybody's like, "Hey man, we got your back," and this and that. And but my thing being back is I want people to know that you can go do stuff. Like
Mm.
you can leave and you can come back. You can leave again. Once you have that, that experience, I ain't saying you gotta abandon home, but you can leave, you can come back, you can leave and come back, and then show the people that think that they can't leave that they can. So yeah, man, my pops, man, but like holding his hand as he passed was like the best and worst thing I've ever gone through in my life. I'm still dealing with it. It'll be 2 years in September, but it's still like, the strongest person you've ever met in your life, to see them at their weakest and then just see them go,
Mm.
it's because you never you can't prepare for that. That's not watching game film. That's not, going through the
Right.
playbook.
No,
That's
right. It's a very personal thing. But
man.
you also have to sometimes look at the perspective was that you were able to say goodbye. You were able to
Yes.
be by his side. And how many people, one, wish they could have just gotten to say goodbye, and two, how do you think he felt when he was ready to go, but he was surrounded by the ones he loved? You know what I mean? It's like you
Yeah,
gotta
it was just me.
always
It was just me,
remember.
him, and my sister. It was just me, him, and my sister, and we was holding each hand. And yeah, I mean, it hurt, but at the same time, it's like we knew what it was. We talked to the doctors for a week prior to that, and the thing about him,
Mm.
and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone, and we're gonna move on. He kind of
Mm-hmm.
pissed me off. Me and him would argue all the time. This is why I'm so, I'm gonna say combative, but I'll argue to death because of him. But uh, when he got admitted to the hospital, my sister called me and was like, your dad is being, argumentative, blah, 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 but he can't even get out of the bed. We got to get him to the hospital, blah, 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 this and that. And then I get on the phone with him. He's like, your sister's so dramatic. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like, Pops, if you can't even get up, just go get some, get treated, get, whatever. I'm thinking it's like, whatever. Then I get a call from her the next day and she like, the doctor said he is not leaving the hospital. So you need to get here. Oh, and this is a great story as well, too. There's a turn because how I got back because I didn't have the money to get back. Somebody, and we'll talk about it. If you want to talk about it now, we can. How I got back to Vegas. No, not to Vegas, but how I got back to Arkansas. Because I got on the phone with him and he was like, are you going to be able to get back? Because he didn't want to be on a machine. And he was like, no, I don't want no machines. I don't want no medicine, none of that, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go if I got to go. I was like, well, if I can get back in the next couple of days, he's like, okay,
Well, let's finish the story. Let's finish the story,
Yeah.
and then we can go back to how you got there.
Okay, so he's like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go through it. Okay, so he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and get hooked up to the machine or whatever. That way it'll keep me here until you get here, because I gotta see you before I go. Because they'd already said, he's gonna die. I'm like, all right, cool. That's fucked up to hear, on the phone. I'm like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working at the restaurant. And I'm like in just a bad mood because I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, how I'm gonna get back to the crib. I get a call on Monday. That's when Bree was telling me he was going to the hospital. Tuesday, that's when she called me and was like, they said he's not leaving. I'm trying to get there as soon as I can. I'm looking at flights. Cheapest one I can find is like for like $600. Like I ain't got $600 just to throw at a flight right now to go and then come back. Like I got my wife, I got my kid at the crib. I'm
Right.
on child support. So anyway, long story short, one of our regulars, I ain't gonna say her real name, but if you look up her stage name online, because I didn't know who she was for a minute, but I always was like, she looks really familiar. And then she would come in, give me a hug, blah, blah. I knew what she wanted. She would get like egg whites with mushrooms and all the vegetables and whatever. I knew her orders. As soon as she see me, she's like, yo, B, you got me? Bet. Boom. I talked to Eddie. Yo, she's in here. Boom. I'm walking around mopey and shit. I figured out who she was after about that second year. But anyway, she comes in. It's like, B, what's wrong with you? I'm like, man, my pops is like basically on this deathbed. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to the crib to see him before he passes. And she goes, yeah, I'm going through some stuff with my dad too. He's kind of sick or whatever, blah, blah, blah. She's like, where's home? I was like, Arkansas. And she was like, is there anything I can do to help? I was like, I would never, like, girl, chill. And she was like, all right. She was like, hey, well, do me a favor. Let me see your phone real quick. I go to the back. I bring her food back out. She had gotten on my phone and booked me a flight and put her credit card on it for that weekend for me to go home. And her name is Phoenix Marie.
Okay.
Just Google it.
I don't think kids should be Googling that.
Dude, when I tell you, that was like the most random. Like,
that is wild. That's usually how those movies start. But man, that is.
I didn't get the happy ending off of it, but
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
What
Phoenix Marie.
Man.
Shout out to. I'm gonna say her real name because she be all.
No, don't do that.
But look up Phoenix Marie. She got
Stop
me home.
telling people to do that.
No. This is a.
That's a pretty wild story though. I did not know that.
Dude, I got some more for you, but we'll
not know that. Yeah, we'll unpack those as we go. But you were able to get home. You were able to say goodbye. You were able to be there. So
yeah,
that's good though, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to make it home. I'm glad you were able to make it home.
Yeah. We're still dealing with it, and especially being home. Like his box is right by the front door because Bree saw
Right. I
fit
mean,
for it
yeah.
to be there. Come on,
Now you're
man.
there.
Like,
It's like
damn.
you're surrounded by all of his stuff, and there is going to be reminders. But at the same time, like you said, it's like the neighbors, they see you, and you remind them, of him. So it's like it's a good feeling. We always talk about nostalgic feelings.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good feeling to have you back, man, and I'm sure the neighborhood's excited.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
talk about
yeah.
let's talk about the 90s real quick. 90s
Yeah.
nostalgia. We were trying to figure
Oh.
out how in the 90s we would order a pizza. You would literally call the pizza guy on the landline and give him your address, and he would make it there. And
How?
I just don't, like, I'm trying to remember, did we give them directions? Like, I remember we had MapQuest. I remember, if we wanted to go somewhere, we were printing out 6 pages and away we went to the beach, and then 6 documents later we made it. And we thought that was
You were printing them out?
the MapQuest? We
Yeah.
had to, because we couldn't do it on your phone yet.
Yeah, but no, I would just memorize them. I'd never printed them out.
Oh, I'm talking like a little bit further, like I mean, still, how do you memorize all that? You got a great memory?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird like that. But no, I would just look at it and I would just be like, okay.
Oh yeah,
And
we were printing. Don't get me wrong; it was printed in black and white with draft style ink, but it was still printed out. But yeah, dude. I mean, I think about the 90s all the time. It's just wild how it all would work back then. I was talking to someone who was 22, and I was basically explaining to him how, like, when we grew up, anything we wanted the answer to, we had to work for. I mean, anything. You had a question, hey, what do dolphins eat? Cool. What'd you have to do? You had to get a ride to the library. You had to figure out how the Dewey Decimal System worked. You had to find a book on dolphins. You had to find the area where they eat, and then after one book, you're like, you know what? This book probably doesn't have everything on it, so you had to go find a totally another different book. And this was just to answer a simple question like that, right? Where you had to get up and physically go do stuff, which is why that would easily kind of filter over into other areas of our lives, and we weren't, as quote unquote a lazy generation. Where now, like, everything is on the phone. Everything's on the phone.
Yeah.
You don't have to work for anything. You remember when we used to order stuff? Remember proof of purchase? You had to cut out the barcode from the cereal and shove it into the envelope, and then you waited 6 to 8 weeks, and you completely forgot you ordered it because you ordered it in spring, and it came like mid-fall, and bam, you were excited. Why? Because you forgot about it. But
you forgot about it, and
now,
you got a whole prize.
I mean, now it's like I get on Amazon and it says tonight at 8 p.m. and it doesn't show up, and you lose your mind. Like 36 hours now.
Like, okay, but the car says it's around the corner, you piece of shit. What the fuck is...
What a wild time. What a wild time we're living in. A wild, wild time. I have a guilty confession, and I said, you know what? We should we should start doing guilty confessions every week. And you know what? We should... What if we did the intro song to it right now? You and me, we're just gonna sing Guilty Confessions right now. On 3.
I don't even know what that song means. I don't know that song.
It's just the word Guilty Confessions. It'll be the intro to our...
in what key? Are we doing C? Are we doing
I don't know. I don't sing, so I don't know. On 3. Ready? One.
We go. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Guilty confessions. Oh my god.
No, nothing. No, that's all we got.
Okay.
I think we should keep that one.
No.
One take one.
I got it. Let's do it again. Say it twice. All right, ready?
Okay. You want to do it? We're gonna do it twice.
We're not gonna get the timing right, but I got an idea.
Okay.
Just say it twice. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Guilty confessions.
Guilty confessions. I think that's it. That's it. All right. I'll clip that. Here's my guilty confession, man. Here's my guilty confession. I was
Oh
cooking
shit!
the other day. It
Hold
was
on,
like
hold
2 days
on,
ago.
hold on, hold on.
Well, what
Hold
happened?
on, hold
What
on.
happened?
No, just knocked over this fucking. Hold on.
Is this is your shoebox loose?
Okay, that's good. All right, we're good.
All right. So I'm cooking the other day, and I always got my
Curry?
music going. Um, no comment. And I always got my music going, and it's always on shuffle or radio, or whatever. And R. Kelly comes on, "Step in the Name of Love," and I'm just like, I'm into it, man. Both hands are dirty. I can't change it. I'm into it, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, it was such a fun, good vibe song until like now you don't even know what the vibe is, and I'm like, man, this is my guilty confession. I enjoyed it. It was a good song. Now my buddy brought up an interesting point. He goes, you have to learn to separate the artist from the art. Like when you have these Michael Jackson accusations, but you still listen to Michael Jackson music. Like, so do you think you can separate the art from the
Whoa!
artist? What? Go ahead.
Michael Jackson. Hold the fuck
That's
on.
it's a prime example. It's a great example.
It's not.
Why? Tell me. What's your opinion?
R. Kelly and Michael Jackson, great fucking artists, without a doubt. There's no arguing that point. But it's not a
Okay.
prime example. One was convicted of doing something, one wasn't.
Okay. So clearly you think Michael Jackson was totally fine and clean and not a creep.
That is a true statement.
Right. And okay. So now we know where you stand on that argument. Thank you.
Yeah.
But you can agree that Michael Jackson hasn't exactly been in the spotlight for the best things, right? And people
not
will
gonna
argue
say that he's not weird.
that I mean, right. The way he grew up was very strange. And don't get me wrong. You know what? Let's just get into it. So you think Michael Jackson is free and clear? Is that what you're saying?
He was not convicted of any crimes.
Okay. And this is what I will say in this scenario. You're right. He was not convicted. Okay. Now, if any of these scenarios, like if anything happened to my child in this situation, right? Would you accept a payoff? But listen to me. No, don't fucking think about it, you weirdo. Jesus. There you go. I had to use it on you. Are you happy? Anyway, listen. But would you ever accept a payoff? You wouldn't. You wouldn't wait. You wouldn't stop until the person was in jail, right? And numerous times there was payoffs. So that's where I would have to side with you because I'm like not one of these people that accused him, wanted to see it all the way through and see him in jail. You all just ended up having some type of out of court settlement and life was fine afterwards because I don't get me wrong, probably there was money thrown at them that could change their lives, but if it's my kid and that happened, I'm not resting until, right?
Yeah.
So because it never, got to that, I kind of do agree with what you're saying. But anyway, so my guilty confession is I listened to R. Kelly and it was great and I'm sorry. and I didn't do it on purpose. It was on shuffle. Do you have any guilty confessions for the week? I know you got one. I know you did something that you're not proud of.
Well, no. Well, I mean, outside of, my sister's mad at me because, she wasn't here, and she told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. I mean, I wouldn't shot my shotgun, in the air with my bird shot. It's a great shotgun. I love it. I'm not going to put it on here because I don't want to, but it's right there. It's a sexy shotgun.
Can we talk about that for a second?
What do you mean? Okay, but that's not it. I mean, that's going to be the first thing. I was going to go into something else, but go ahead. What do you mean?
Oh, okay. No. Well, yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing shooting your gun in the air? Is this the Wild West? Are we in Fortnite? What are you doing shooting a gun into the air? Just please explain to me what the purpose of this is. Listen, I get it. I get it. I'm from Texas. I get it. But you don't have to, just because everybody around you rootin' tootin', you don't have to fire one off too.
It was like 10, but it was louder than their fireworks. And I just needed them to know that I'm back.
You want to establish dominance. You wanted to establish dominance. All right. I get it.
Yeah. I'm feeling Kai right now. I got to establish dominance.
All right, let's end this with. Actually, you pick a topic, Brandon. How do you want to end this?
I want to do. Uh, I want to do reasons you ended a relationship in public TikTokers, and then we'll do something. We'll do so. Yeah.
I I don't know when we were growing up, was it like like was it kind of embarrassing that you were filming yourself by yourself? I don't know. Wasn't that kind of like a thing?
I
Like no one ever
wouldn't
set up a
know.
camera and filmed themselves when we were younger, you know? But this public TikToking thing is driving me crazy. When it happens at the gym, it's like, what are we doing? Like people will this dude took the wet floor sign, put his phone down, took his shirt off, and started doing all sorts of nonsense on the bars. And I was like, like good for you that you can do that, but like, is a public gym the right place?
Well,
I
see,
feel
the
like they
problem
should.
about it is, I'm sorry to step on you, but the problem is they feel like because they're recording that it's their space. And it's like, no, this is not a
You think
studio.
that's it? Hmm.
Yeah, they're so self entitled to where they're just like, hey, I'm doing content right now. You got to respect my space. It's like, no, I have a gym membership and I'm here to work out, and you are in my way, and I get that,
Interesting.
So I just don't understand how you walk into a place and you just think that this is your studio and this is gonna make, like, right now as we are filming in our own houses, this is our space. If you walk into a spot where you paying for a membership and then you got other people around you, but you want them to move around that way you can get your content, that's not cool. And it's very annoying, and whoever get what they get, that's what they're gonna get.
What about the shufflers across the pedestrian crosswalk? I know you've seen that.
I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of fly.
What? Really?
It's kind of fly. I could always say it's kind of fly because I can't do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of fly because I can't do it.
I just don't
It is
understand why they're
very.
like there's dance studios. Do it in a dance studio. Like, but why in a pedestrian crosswalk when people are like people carrying coffee trying to like get back to work and you got like 8 TikTokers just just
But it's for those views. They know that if they get a bad reaction, they're gonna get more views, which is, that sucks
it's
too
strange
because
real.
you're making money off of just messing people up. And as we are doing this in the same space, well, not as bad as them, but it's just, I don't get it, man. And like, I feel really bad for my kids because I'm trying to no, seriously, I'm trying to wrap my mind around the fact that, okay, this is what I'm gonna have to deal with. I'm just gonna have to mold myself to, this is what the world is now. But I'm like, I wasn't raised like this. You weren't raised like this. It's like, get up, go outside, go do something. And then they just sitting there and they on they VR headsets and they got the and they talking all that talk, and then you tell them to go take the trash out and they're like, I don't know how.
I'm just gonna say, last episode you did talk about how you have an Oculus, so
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
you
yeah.
on a
Yeah.
you're on a VR headset too? No, but what I'm actually not opposed to what Montana did, where they made TikTok 18 and up. I wouldn't be opposed to
Ooh.
social media in general just being 18 and up. I don't think like the kids are mean as shit. We were mean as shit, but at least we just said it face to face on the playground and that was it. And you sorted it out. Like these kids are leaving comments. We've seen what it leads to. Um, I think we should just put it 18 and up and call it a day. Hmm.
That's gonna be really hard though. I don't know if you've heard of this thing called the black web. Um, the internet. I'm just saying, the internet is so accessible, and the kids know how to do it. I mean, most of the kids now are more knowledgeable about the web than a lot of the adults are. So they'll say, "Well, I'm doing this, but I'm not doing that." I catch them doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing or watching stuff they're not supposed to be watching all the time, and it's when you catch them and when you don't. But they're more knowledgeable about how uh, doing certain things on the web that we have no clue because we're working, we're paying for them to be on the web or having the Wi-Fi for them to actually do it. So it's a scary world that we're getting into. But I just want people, to be, man. And you got a little one too. You got to be on top of her, man. Like, yeah,
It's gonna be fun, but the ironic part is that we're talking about this via a tech app, and I mean it. This is the good side is that we're able to stay
yeah.
connected with you on the other side of the country, and we get
How
to keep
about
this
we
thing
end this
going,
on a
man.
high note? How about we end this on a high note?
What? That was a, oh,
Let's.
you know, I thought that was a high note. Okay, all right.
That was not. I'm not. No, because now I'm like, I gotta go get
Well,
some
no.
more ammo tomorrow because I know I'm out of my my shotgun shells and I know my nine. I still got some more 9mm rounds. I'm good. But no. In the meantime, there's one thing that we didn't talk about that I did want to hear you talk about, and it would be the. Oh wait, no. Wait. Oh, Shakespeare. So you put that on there for
Jeez,
me.
wait a teaser. Well,
Yeah,
no,
I know, right?
I was. You know what?
Shakespeare Parenthood is what
That's
I
how
did
we're
want to talk
ending.
about.
That's how we're ending it. We're gonna end this with Shakespeare, which is wild that I had no idea you were such a big Shakespeare buff.
Yeah.
When did you get
Let me
when did you
not
get
to
into
the
it?
impediment of the true minds. No, D Shelton, Mama D is what we called her. She was my pre-AP English teacher at Jacksonville High School. I won't say the year, but no. Once I got to reading, uh, not that I learned how to read in 10th grade, but, but no, like it's like in all honesty, the dramatics of the sonnets and the plays that I would read really reflected a lot on my life and a lot of the lives of people that I knew that they just didn't know. It's like um,
Mm-mm.
a lot of the rappers are the best poets in the world. Like they're the softest dudes in the world. All that gangster shit they be rapping about and talking about and the guns they busted. I mean, the newer ones are just my mama didn't love me. Shut the fuck up. But like for the yeah. Turn up, all that, yeah. But a lot of them, like the good ones, man, they're like the best poets in the world. And then like I resonated with that with Shakespeare, but it was a gift and a curse because it made me I'm very idealistic about everything, so I get let down a lot because I want everything to be perfect, and then when it's not, then it's like and then I don't know how to get back with that. But at the same time, as far as a reading, and then as far as just striving and keeping it going, because there's never an end to perfection. Like, there's never an end game for that. It's always you keep trying because there's not perfection is a goal. There's no goal with that.
Mm.
It's if you hit perfection, then it's like, oh well, I can do something else too. That's where I'm at. So yeah, so Shakespeare's a gift and a curse, but I love it. I have a book of all of his sonnets and plays. I look through it every now and then. But yeah, but
All right,
mhm.
so we're running on time here, so you're gonna end it with give us maybe a favorite or like a quote or a sonnet. I don't even know what a sonnet is from Shakespeare. You're ending this episode. Close it out for us right now.
Sonnets are really they're easier than plays because plays you have to like in your mind like as you're reading them you have to become the different characters. But it's Sonnet 116. It said, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when alteration finds." So that's the first bar, I should say. Yeah.
I mean, I love getting my clothes altered. They fit way better. So
You are a terrible person. Oh, I've
talk
seen
soon.
some. Never mind.
What have you seen?
No, I was gonna say I've seen some Indian garb that can get altered like right on the street whenever you're visiting,
Oh hell yeah!
and
Oh yeah!
they'll just
Every third world country will sew you up right
I'm
then
gonna
and
keep
there on
bringing
the
that
street.
shit up.
3 for 20. I mean, 100%. I've done it. It's a great deal. All right, my boy. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
You're supposed to say bye, Brandon. Jesus. I mean, come on. I mean, say
This
bye.
is the bye. This is the
but
bye.
remember, it's
This
a pot. Remember, they're listening.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to. I thought there was a lag, and then when you're doing stuff, yeah, whatever. I got out
Say
of my
bye.
shit when I got to talking. Okay, I got you.
Say-
Hold on. Bring it back in.
Hey, that's all the time we got, man. Hey, we'll see y'all next time, Brandon. I'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right, man. I love you, boy. Bye.